I am Jessica Carroll, the Interim Program Manager for Measure 110, and I'll be assisting Amy with facilitation for today's meeting. The Oversight and Accountability Council welcomes and encourages community input. Members of the public are invited to submit public comments or get on our interested parties email list by emailing oha.measure110@odhsoha.oregon.gov. That email address and more information about the council can be found on the Measure 110 OAC website. For more information or support with community engagement, please contact Sydney McConnell. OAC members have asked that OHA and other staff who are present in the meeting space introduce themselves in the chat. Please share your role with the agency, and if you are a subject matter expert, your area of expertise. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Amy to welcome the group and call today's agenda.
Welcome everybody to our wonderful Wednesday afternoon meeting about Measure 110. And we're going to be doing our agenda today, and that is the SOS audit responses discussion and a vote. So we do have a vote today. Some OHA updates, and then we will be going into executive session. With that, I'd like to turn over to Sydney McConnell for attendance.
Hey, thanks, Amy. I'm gonna call everybody's name. Can you please stay here for the record? Amy.
I am here.
Hi, Amy. Carlos.
Here.
Hi, Carlos. Caroline.
Here.
Hi, Caroline. Dharma. Don't see Dharma yet. Hubert. Hunter.
Here.
Hi, Hunter. Jackie Mercer. Jaren.
Here.
Hi, Jaren. Keisha.
Here.
Hi, Keisha. Leticia.
Hey.
I'm here.
Hi, Leticia. Linda. Melinda.
Here.
Hi, Melinda.
Hi.
Meredith.
Here.
Hi, Meredith.
Hi.
Morgan. Nicole. Onisha.
Yes.
Hi, Onisha. Ron.
Here.
Hi, Ron. Ryan.
Here.
Hi, Ryan. Sabrina. Zeb.
I'm here.
Hi, Zeb. Annalise. And Jackie Fabric is not here. She let us know she would not be here today, so we have 13. Back to you guys.
Thank you. And I'd like to pass it off to the presenter at this time, Jessica.
Yeah, and I just want to real quick, Zeb, did you have your hand up? Was that an accident or did you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say, I just had a quick observation. Everybody looks freezing. I'm also freezing. And I wish I had like the coats and all the warm stuff you guys have on.
That is an astute observation there, Zeb. It is pretty cold where I am.
I'm in a t-shirt.
Carlos is warm. All right. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so I am the presenter for the SOS audit response discussion, and we have some slides. Okay, next slide, please. Thanks, everyone. I hope you're having a great new year. So as you all are probably well aware, the SOS financial review audit was released on December 20th, 2023. And because that document is now published, we can discuss it here in the public meeting, which was something we could not do before it was published. The council previously indicated interest in forming a response. Just a quick reminder that this response will be published and added to the audit report per Ian Green at the Secretary of State. OHA recommends that the response be completed and submitted to the SOS auditors no later than January 15th. And we recommend this because you know, the response is likely going to be more impactful when the audit is fresh in people's minds. And so within a month, we figure would probably be best. Next slide, please. So we have a couple decisions for the council to make. First would be if the OAC would still like to, after reading the final draft or the final published audit, if the OAC would still like to craft a response. So that's kind of a yes or no. And if no, then no further action is needed. If yes, then there will need to be a decision on whom the OAC will delegate authority to craft the response. So with that, I'm going to entertain any questions that you all might have. It's pretty straightforward. And if there are none, we can just go ahead and start making some decisions. Seeing no hands. Would some, oh, sorry, Amy, I missed that.
I wasn't fast enough. I think it would be, I would think it would be important for us to draft a response, because I've seen a lot in the media and a lot of different things being said and stuff. And I think it would really be impactful to let them know, you know, implementing something and getting something going, it does take time. You know, measures and outcomes take time to do. And I just feel like if we don't respond, you know, in some way, sorry, it's not gonna be as impactful, sorry. So that's.
It's okay, Amy. We know you're dealing with some stuff. Okay. Thanks.
That can't be the baby. Amy, is that the baby? She can't be that big.
Yeah, she'll be 3 on Valentine's Day.
He's the baby?
She'll be 3 on Valentine's Day. It's been 3 years, guys.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Your little mascot. Sorry.
I'm your auntie. Hi. Everyone's auntie.
Say hi, state of Oregon. I'm one of the ballot measure 110
Success.
successes. Yep, healthy child. She went through it. This is why we do what we do right here.
That's so true. Just you should take a picture and make it into a poster. How beautiful. Hi.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. This is the personal stuff. This is the important stuff. All right. Did you want to say anything else, Amy, or?
No, I really think it's important that we continue to, because I think at times they lose sight of the little people that are affected by this, and what's really happening and why we voted for ballot measure 110, you know, and what opportunities that's giving people like her mother, you know, that's alive today and off of fentanyl. You know, yeah, she's still got prison time because they commit other crimes, but they don't have, you know, like the high crimes. So if we would be able to state, you know, a statement, I think it would be invaluable. Okay, thank you. Yes. So that's all I have to say.
Thanks, Amy. I know you're multitasking. Ron Williams.
Yeah, thanks. I agree with Amy that I think it'd be critical for us to issue a statement. I know that the things that, because it's clear that particularly the things that the media or the points that they are attracted to related to what's in the report or the audit, particularly spending on the, for example, they're saying that only a fraction of the money has been spent by the providers and that sort of thing. That's what the media is jumping on. The media is also jumping on this story regarding the phone line and the calculations they're making, the per cost calculations and that sort of thing. And it's really giving kind of a distorted perception of actually what's happening on the ground. And I think that the audit may be missing a lot of that context. And I think it'd be really important for us to put that context in writing and share it with the Secretary of State and the public.
Ron, Ryan.
I was just wondering if it's appropriate to ask if staff has recommendation for a response letter.
OHA staff?
Yeah.
Well, OHA crafted a response for the audit, and it was published alongside the audit, and that is OHA's response. I think it's important to, based on the council, who the council is and the council's independence, that the council would craft their own response. I think that would likely, I don't want to speak for the council, but I think that would likely be the will of the council as well. I don't have any advice either way on which is best. I think it should just be based on the will of the council. Thanks for your question, Ryan. Melinda.
Hi, everybody. So I think it would be a good idea for us to give a response because I'm here right now at the Joint Interim Committee on Addictions and Committee Safety Response at the Capitol. And a lot of the things that they're talking about in there is youth and prevention and how to get stuff into the schools. And they did have a lot of good things to say about Measure 110 as far as the progress that we've made as far as getting up treatment centers and implementing things throughout the burns. So I definitely think that we need to submit a response to show, like Ron said, one of the things that they mentioned was $7,000 per person for a phone call to call that hotline. That doesn't even seem, I mean, $7,000 really for one phone call? It doesn't seem like that's reflecting what we're doing. So I think we should absolutely respond. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda. And Dharma?
Yeah, and I just want to maybe bring something back into conversation, and it's been a long time, but I feel like a few years ago when we started things, I was trying to really push for some youth-specific policies, and I feel like we lost steam on it somewhere along the line. I'll have to go through some notes and find those, but I'm hoping we can like re-look at those things, like re-look at the things like extending the availability of burn funding to recovery schools, collegiate recovery programs, scholastic recovery programs, because I think that's an important thing that can help to complement kind of what they're asking for. It feels like that kind of got lost along the line somewhere, or we never were able to kind of look back into those things. Yeah, and I just want to just mirror what folks are saying, that I think it's really important that we craft a statement that's specific to the OAC.
Yeah. Thanks, Dharma. And just as a refresher for everyone, you all did require policies and procedures, and one of those was youth focused. So organizations were required to either talk about how they served youth or how they would refer youth if there were not a youth serving organization. Additionally, you did fund a recovery school in, I believe it's Clackamas County. So, cool. All right. So it sounds okay. Sorry, Carlos, you have something to say, and it looks like maybe Annalise does too. All right.
I was supposed to bring this up a while back ago, and then the holidays got in the way and other things got in the way. I know that when we first started putting together, the language for grants, I think that we had decided that maybe we wouldn't provide services or provide funding with mental health involved, right? Or mental health services. So what I've discovered is that if you have folks that, because so like saying, I can only speak about Washington County. In Washington County, folks who have already been sentenced, and they get to a certain amount of time before their discharge. If their crime or whatever they were charged with had alcohol or drugs associated with it, they can they'll have a GPS, and then they can attend treatment. But because they're incarcerated, they're not eligible for OHP services that would normally pay for mental health. And so mental health services within corrections, if they don't need like medication or they're not in a crisis, they can't really have mental health services. And I could be wrong, but this is my understanding so far. So if we were to be able to create or talk about for folks to be able to use either funding or have access to OHP while they're incarcerated to access mental health. And I'm sure that there's somebody that has the more appropriate language. I'm just saying it the best way that I can. But okay, thank you. Because I think we did talk about it at the very beginning. It's been a while.
It has been a while, as evidenced by the 3-year-old sitting on Amy's lap. Thank you, Carlos. Annalise.
Can you all hear me? Okay, good. As Zeb and Caroline know, I've had some issues today. So I just have a very pragmatic pitch for having you all do a response. As folks may or may not know, the ADPC has this 5-year strategic plan for the state for how we reduce substance use disorder and deaths and disparities. And we have a report due this January that we're gathering information across programs and across agencies. And for me, just very pragmatically, I think having your voice, having the OAC voice, and really you guys really teasing out the things that we're missing from the Secretary of State's report, especially about the workforce, right? And where Measure 110 funding has really been able to fill gaps. I think some of those kind of details that you guys understand better would be very helpful to get on the record. So that's just my very pragmatic pitch for you all.
Thank you, Annalise. That's a very good point. All right. So can we bring the slides back up? Sounds like we're moving in a direction. Specifically that motion slide. We're going to give some grace to the person who's sharing because this is not always easy. All right. So would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we draft and
Craft SOS audit response.
Oh, okay.
second.
So hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I was not able to hear what the actual motion was because several people are trying to talk, and Dharma has her hand up. So, Melinda, do you want to repeat what you said?
I said, I make a motion to craft SOS audit response.
Okay, thank you. And is there a second, Dharma?
I just have a question.
Oh.
Who's going to craft the response? Is
That
it
is-
the next one?
That's the next one. Yep.
Okay, I second the motion.
Okay, so we have a motion to craft the SOS audit response. And we have a second. Melinda made the motion. Dharma seconded. Is there any more discussion, Ron Williams?
Well, I wanted to ask Annalise to repeat her recommendation.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. So I was just making an argument, if you will, for you all to do a response that included things that maybe were gaps in the Secretary of State's response, in particular with workforce and where Measure 110 funds have built gaps locally. Like some of those subtleties, it seemed to me, just didn't get teased out. That
Yeah,
right, like workforce
absolutely.
is this kind of, that would be amazing.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Any further discussion before we go to vote? Okay, hearing none. Sydney McConnell.
Thank you, Jessica Carroll. The motion to craft that response, the OIC will craft that response. Amy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Carlos?
Yes.
Caroline?
Yes.
Dharma?
Yes.
Hubert?
Yes.
Hunter?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
Jaren? Do we lose Jaren?
We may have.
Okay, I'll come back to Jaren. Keisha,
Yes.
Leticia,
Yes.
I still don't see Linda. Melinda,
Yes.
Meredith,
Yes.
still do not see Morgan. Nicole,
Yes.
Onisha,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
and Zeb.
Yes.
Thank you. And then just going back to see Jaren. Jaren, would you like to vote? I think Jaren might be having technical difficulty, but it does pass as is with 17 yes votes.
Fantastic. So we have another decision to make. If we could, thank you, Carly. Look at how fast she is. All right. So now comes delegated authority. So would anyone like to nominate self-nominate to be the person with delegated authority to create this response? Sabrina.
Can it be multiple people or does it have to be one person? Or can we have somebody help us craft a letter and then we all approve it as a council?
So, good question. We are talking about delegated authority to one person because of the amount of time, and additionally, because anything that you all do in any subset of a group needs to happen in a public meeting. And then we get into the situation where we were in, like with the RFGA, where we're in a public meeting and we're wordsmithing. So delegating it to an individual is what the tri-chairs have decided to do.
I would like to nominate somebody if he's willing, and that'd be Ron Williams.
Oh, well, I see Ron Williams' hand up, so I'm not going to make an assumption. Ron Williams.
Well, I see Onisha I was gonna volunteer to be on the committee, but it sounds like there doesn't look like there's gonna be a committee. And I see that Onisha has volunteered, and as a tri-chair, I would defer to her.
All right. Thank you. Keisha.
Yeah, I was gonna nominate Onisha.
All right. So we have Onisha's nominated herself. I think we have a Keisha, and it looks like Amy, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, Onisha, for sure. I've heard her, I've seen her, yeah, her words. Onisha.
Okay, perfect. So it sounds like, would somebody like to make a motion then?
I make a motion for Onisha to be the delegated authority vote to create and submit an audit response on behalf of the OAC.
Okay, I'm sorry, Melinda. Can you say that one more time without the word vote?
Man, are you serious right now? No, I nominate Onisha to delegate authority vote. I make a motion to delegate the authority vote to Onisha to create and submit the audit response on behalf of the OAC.
Perfect. Okay, so we have a motion to delegate, to delegate Onisha to create and submit the audit response on behalf of the OAC. We have a second from, I believe, Lakeisha, was that you?
Yep.
Okay, so we have a second from Keisha. Any more discussion? All right, hearing none. Oh, sorry, Ryan.
Just quickly, I will be a no vote and nothing against Onisha. I believe that not creating a committee for this type of work is limits the work.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your comment. Any other comments? Hearing none. Now.
Sorry, my
It's okay,
hand-
Zach.
I couldn't find my hand thing. Anyway, it's like to remind whoever's doing it, January 15th, 5 days from now, It's when they're asking for it. So good luck.
Well, and whomever ends up doing this, you have the full support of the entire your team here at OHA. We will support you in all ways that you need. Sabrina.
Yeah, and so are we going to be, since it's such a short time notice, are we going to be able to see it, or once we delegate responsibility, it's going out the door without our approval?
So I think we could send it out to you all, but there would not be a meeting in that interim for the approval.
Okay, so if we wanted to, could we offer our feedback since it's such a short notice, or is it just, or not?
That's what I was gonna ask. Is there a way to write it and send it out and ask for any edits, or is that something that's not?
So it is, and I just want to kind of
It'll be a quick turnaround, but I would like people to offer if I missed something or something.
yes, but I just want to acknowledge that two people could want to edit the same thing in a different way, right? So truly, like we could do it that way. I do not know that it would be ready by the 15th. That is totally up to the council. We are just trying to make this streamlined and something that, you know, is able to be done in the time frame. But totally up. Yes, Allison.
This is Allison from DOJ. Just wanted to add a couple of comments here. One is that the way that the motion is written, it would give the person who is named the ability to submit the response without coming back to the council for approval. So that's how it currently stands in the motion. And the second thing is that the concern with coming back to the council, besides like the timing issues and things like that, if it couldn't occur outside of a public meeting, there would be public meeting issues. So I think that's one of the reasons why the motion might be worded that way.
Thank you, Allison. I don't know if that answers.
Can we do a short executive session then? If we can't send an email, we can't have a public meeting just for feedback if people want to hop on.
Executive session is reserved only for legal issues.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
legal
All right.
issue.
All right.
Yeah. Keisha.
Well, Allison kind of answered my question. I was going to ask if the person who has authority has the ability to reach out to certain council members and ask for input, but Allison just answered it.
Yeah, and just to let you all know, this has been the issue with the writing a single response, right? This is why it wasn't done before the publishing. Additionally, it's the public meeting issue. Amy?
Oh, I just feel that, you know, a lot of us, we all said, Onisha, we know her talent. I think we should just have confidence in her writing skills. And yes, you know, have OHA review it, of course, you know, and have it email out to us so we can at least see it. But in all reality, you know, if we've got enough confidence for all of us to say, hey, I like the way Onisha articulates and I know I've seen her words in action, then let's just trust this and get this done correctly.
Thank you, Amy. I second that.
Thank you, Amy. Yeah. All right. So any further discussion before we vote? Hearing none. All right. Sydney McConnell.
Carol, just kidding. Motion to delegate authority to Onisha to create and submit the response on behalf of the OAC. Amy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Carlos?
Yes.
Caroline?
Yes.
Dharma? Did we lose Dharma?
We may have.
Yeah, we lost Dharma. Hubert?
Yes.
Hunter?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
Jaren?
Yes.
Thanks, Jaren. Keisha?
Yes.
Thank you. Leticia?
Yes.
Thank you. Still no Linda. Melinda?
Yes.
Meredith?
Yes.
Let's see, no Morgan. Nicole?
Yes.
Onisha?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Ryan?
No.
Sabrina? Oh, I think we lost Sabrina. Zeb?
Yes.
All right, I'm just gonna go back. Let's see, Dharma, would you like to vote?
Yes.
Is that your yes vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And Sabrina is still not here. So that passes with 16 yes votes, 1 no vote.
All right, thanks all. With that, we'll pass it back to, well, Amy, do you want me to pass it back to you, or I can just do the OHA? Well,
No, we got to start leaving that off. OJ updates by Jessica.
okay, your feedback has been heard. All right, so we just have some quick OHA updates. And for the first OHA update, I'm going to pass it to our fantastic other manager, Kristen Donhafner, to give you an update on data.
Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. Today, we published the Q4 data in the same place that we've published it the past 3 quarters on that nice dashboard that our data team has created. So this data gives us a full year of Measure 110 data. The Q4 represents services performed between April and June of last year. So on that dashboard, we have a full year from July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023, which is really exciting to see. The trend lines continuing to go up, those provider stories, those client stories, really sharing the work that is being done across Oregon. I do want to call out a few new pages that we've made. There is a new page on SOGI data, that's sexual orientation and gender identity data. We also have a new page on outreach and engagement efforts that shows where Measure 110 providers have performed outreach and what populations they've focused on. So I would definitely take a few minutes and poke around that interactive dashboard to see all of that new data. I believe a press release is also going out today from OHA. And I wanted to make sure that I had the opportunity to let you all know that it was there, it's live, and to take a look at it. Thanks. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you, Kristen. That's super exciting and really, really informative. Thank you. So our other update is that we have a tri-chair election coming up. We have 2 seats turning over. Dharma's seat and Onisha's seat are becoming available. The term ends on March 25th, but for those of you who've been here and as a reminder, for those of you who are newer, we like to vote about a month in advance so that the newly elected tri-chairs have an opportunity to sit in on the tri-chair meetings and get their bearings and understand their role. And there's some like warm handoffs on some things. So this is just a heads up that election will be happening in February. We're planning it for the first meeting in February, which I believe is Valentine's Day, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have an extra little week if we need it. So if you are wanting to consider that, if you have any questions, if that is something that you're interested in, please do reach out. We can have the tri-chairs speak to the role and the types of responsibilities in an upcoming meeting you all would like to hear those again. I know we have some newer members, so that might be helpful. So just wanted to put that bug in your ear. The way we do it is people can self-nominate. We do self-nomination because it is an increased responsibility, and we want to ensure that people have, you know, time and nobody's put on the spot to accept additional responsibility that they may not have the time for. So that is happening, coming up. And so start thinking if you want to be a tri-chair. All right, and that is my last update. I thought I heard something, but okay, that is my last update. I'm gonna pass it back to Amy to end the public portion of the meeting and get us into executive session.
Hi, all. Well, Jessica just said it so eloquently. This